Hey yo guys, what's happening? It's your boy Araine TJ back again with another reaction video, and today we're reacting to Cuff Boy. So go ahead, subscribe and like. You can do the same for me. And we're going over Ynw Melly. His lawyers asked to remove the prosecutor. Let's get into it.
The Ynw Melly trial just got even more chaotic. Melly's defense filed a motion to recuse the state attorney's office of the 17th Judicial Circuit and in Broward County, which essentially means replacing the entire state attorney's office. They're requesting the removal of lead prosecutor Christine Bradley and the state attorney's office based on various Brady violations filed last week. In the motion, Benjamin shares that Christine Bradley and other ASAs are witnesses now, and that their testimonies could possibly contradict each other. Yeah, this is pretty big news here. Melly's team is trying to get the entire state attorney's office replaced, while also trying to get the case completely dismissed last week. So a lot's going to happen in the next 7 days. I'll read this right now. If you're new to my channel, subscribe. Let's get right into it. All right, first thing we got right here, state's motion for extension of time. Oh God, so they're trying to extend it. On July 28th, the judge John Murphy issued an order setting a motion deadline for 10 days prior to the start of the trial. The trial was originally set for October 2nd, but then delayed as request of Melly's lawyers. The jury trial is currently set to begin on October 9th. The jury selection is forecasted to last approximately a month, and multiple newly filed defense motions also must be heard. The defendant is in custody. This would set a motion deadline for Friday, September 29th, 2023. Defense counsel has filed approximately 17 motions since September 21st. Melly's team has been going crazy, dude. Non-stop working, submitting motions, bro. The state is seeking 1 week to respond to these motions in writing and file any additional witnesses or information that may be contemplated in response to these motions. Additionally, non-party pleadings have been filed on behalf of civilian witnesses that must be addressed. This request is made in good faith and not for the purpose of delay. The initial jury selection can still commence on October 9th. Oh, the jury selection can still start in 7 days, apparently. So here's the big one right here, boys. Motion to recuse state attorney's office of the 17th Judicial Circuit Court in Broward County, Florida. All right, boys, if you want to see Uzi, Yachty, Trippie Redd, or Skies live on tour this fall, click the link in the description and buy some tickets down below, all right? Some sick fall tours for those 4 artists right there, so go cop some tickets right now. Back to the video. The defendant is currently charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and faces possibility of death as a sentence. The defendant has previously gone through a trial on this matter. On jury, blah, blah, blah. We all know all this bullshit. They got to set the bullet points for it. However, in the past week, the defense has learned of blatant Brady violation that the lead detective in this case, Detective Mark Murdy, solicited another officer, that being a BSO deputy, to lie for him and state that the deputy was present when Detective Murdy served a search warrant on Miss King. There's no dispute that, in fact, that deputy was not present. Miss Boutros let her superiors know of Detective Moretti's willingness to fabricate testimony. She also informed those superiors that she would never work Moretti on a case. Wow. So they're saying that this state attorney that overheard Moretti lying about the whole situation, saying that the deputy was in the room with him when he took Melly's mom's phone, that state attorney is like, I'll never work with that detective ever again. Fuck him. He's a shady character. I'm not working with him. Seems like it's going to be a bad look for us to be involved with this detective. That's a red flag for any detective. So since October of 2022, prior to any trial commencing in this case, Assistant State Attorney Christine Bradley, who was assigned to this case, knew of this Brady material. That's a big point, because they're trying to say that this was all hidden from the defense and they never gave the defense this information, and the defense had to find out for themselves how serious this information was, which violates Melly's due process rights by not giving him a fair trial, essentially. On September 29th, 2023, counsel for the defense was able to depose Assistant State Attorney Michelle Boutros. So they deposed her a few days ago. I would kill for that deposition just to see what, just to be able to fly on the wall on that and see what was said, dude. Undersigned is still trying to unwind exactly what transpired within the state attorney's office. It is safe to say, based on what was divulged at deposition of Ms. Boutros, that should Detective Moretti be called a witness in this case, Ms. Boutros certainly would be called by the defense to testify as to Detective Moretti's credibility. Ooh, bro, they are turning the state attorney's office against detectives and turning them into witnesses, bro. Melly's defense team is doing so good at picking holes in this case. From the various Brady responses filed by the state over the last week, it is obvious that Ms. Bradley had her own conversations with Moretti as to soliciting a BSO deputy to lie. Ooh, so now they're throwing Miss Bradley under the bus, which they've been doing, but they just keep doing it. They're running her over on the bus over and over. Being that Detective Moretti's credibility may be one of the biggest issues at trial, Miss Bradley has made herself a witness. Ooh, this is This is a shit show for the state attorney's office, dude. Further, as to defense motion to suppress evidence, Moretti's credibility is automatically at issue since he signed the affidavit in this case. Therefore, again, Miss Boutros, possibly Miss Bradley, would be witnesses. Jesus, bro. As to the motion to dismiss for government and prosecutorial misconduct in violation of the defendant's due process rights, it has become clear that decisions on providing the defense with this unmistakably Brady material reach the highest realm of the state attorney's office. Miss Boutros testified that Mr. Pryor, Miss Falk, and Mr. Killoran over approximately the last year have been involved in this matter on several occasions. So now Melly's lawyers are throwing the entire attorney's office under the bus. All the highest positions of the attorney's office just got thrown under the bus as well. They're all involved in this. It's a whole big conspiracy. They're hiding all this Moretti shit show from the defense. Therefore, at the motion to dismiss stage, at this time, the defense knows that Assistant State Attorney Michelle Boutros, Christine Bradley, Chris Killoran, Regina Falk, Stephen Secor, Joe Silversheen, Harold Pryor will be called as witnesses. So like 6 people from the state attorney's office will be called as witnesses, dude. As referenced above, these are the state attorney's witnesses that are known and definite at this time. We do not know what their role was in the decision not to provide Brady to the defense. Miss Bradley has made herself a fact witness through probably the most important piece of evidence in the case, that being the credibility of Detective Moretti. Therefore, Miss Bradley individually is certainly conflicted in representing the state in this matter, so they're trying to get Miss Bradley completely off the case. It really makes me think that this judge might dismiss this entire case. I feel like that's like too good to be true in that situation. Like, it's just not gonna happen some way. The state attorney's office is gonna come back fighting. I promise you that. They're gonna come back fighting over the next 7 days, and it's gonna be interesting. However, given the fact that at a minimum there would be Assistant State Attorney Michelle Boutros as a witness, there will be conflicting testimony by Christine Bradley. It is untenable for the state to be the prosecutors in the case. For one, the fact that Assistant State Attorney prosecuting the matter, Miss Bradley, is on the witness stand will be from the same judicial circuit as Miss Bradley. Being called by the state as a witness would be tantamount to the state attorney's office vouching for Miss Bradley's credibility, undermining that of the state attorney's Michelle Boutros. They're just putting everyone against each other. Nothing could destroy a witness's credibility more than their own office calling another witness to contradict her. Holy shit. In essence, there are too many witnesses from the 17th Judicial Circuit State Attorney's Office who have testimony germane to the motion to dismiss, the press, and the trial for this state attorney's office to remain as prosecutors in this case. Wow. Allowing the state attorney's office, and specifically Christine Bradley, to continue as counsel in this case violates the defendant's due process rights guaranteed by both the Florida Constitution and the 14th Amendment to the United States. So they're saying that if this state attorney's office stays on the case, it's violating Melly's rights because it's a whole damn big conspiracy and they're all witnesses, and it wouldn't be fair to Melly, essentially, to dumb it down. And I'm shocked. I'm shocked beyond words. I wonder how this is going to go. Like, obviously they're going to fire back, and they're going to fire back really hard, trying to say that, this is like a Hail Mary for Melly's team, and they're just trying to avoid a guilty verdict. I'm going to look at Twitter and see what people are saying real quick. These prosecutors are so unprofessional and shady. Melly's new defense lead is definitely putting in the work. I was waiting for this motion, though. I thought there would be a conflict with the state being witnesses now. Black Letter Law is actually a really smart Twitter, so let's see what this guy says. I can see the judge recusing the state attorney's office, but I'd love to be proven wrong. The Christine Bradley issue is different. It just depends on whether she really entangled herself in the Moretti situation enough to make herself a witness in this case, and whether the evidence is obvious Brady material. I expect the state to respond and come out fighting. They'll probably say that the defense knows they can't get a not guilty verdict based on the facts and the evidence, that they're doing anything they can to attack and discredit the people who give a voice to the victims and protect law and order. I pretty much said the same thing in a way, that they're going to come back fighting, and it's going to be pretty wild over the next 7 days when the jury selection starts. So I'm going to be covering this trial obviously until the end of the year. Or it actually might go into January. Fucking insane how long this trial is going on. I'm going to be honest, I'm over it. I really don't want to cover this trial anymore, but I have to because I know there's a lot of people that want me to. So but yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a huge motion to pretty much get the entire state attorney's office replaced. Bring up a bunch of state attorneys as witnesses to find out what happened in that situation with Melly's mom. So
Yo, nah, gang. I mean, this is pretty crazy, though. From what I'm gathering, I mean, he seems to dumb it down pretty good. Yeah, like, Melly's lawyers are coming at the prosecutor, or the prosecution, and the whole prosecuting team, the whole state. But, like, it makes sense, though. It makes sense. If all of that is true and accurate, then you can't have people who work together be witnesses against each other. One. And two, if your team is saying, nah, we don't want to work with you no more because something's wrong with you, that just points out to everybody else that, yo, if their own teammate is saying something is up, then something's up, yo. You know what I mean? But anyways, thanks for watching today's video, gang. If you're drawing something, that's great. Thanks for watching my drawings. If you like them, you could like, subscribe to this video. And once I get monetized, with your help, I'm gonna start making some more original content solely around art and creativity, not so much around random reactions to negative news or crime related things. You know what I mean? So, once again, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye, everyone.